Good afternoon, everyone. This is Henry Gambell with SimplerTrading.com, and in tonight's free video, I wanted to discuss one of my favorite strategies with you, which is the unbalanced butterfly. I've got two examples, and then one place we're going to look at putting the trade more actively, so I'll be brief in all of this. But let's start the week to say that I began putting these trades on around Monday and Tuesday, and I was a little bit early to them, to say the least. You can see that Tesla traded down as low as 350.51 earlier in this week's session. But when we started the week, I thought around a witching expiration, I wonder if Tesla can spend some time around 420. Obviously, this has been a very big psychological level for this stock ever since the funding secured tweet. We ripped through it, trade all the way to 913. And then I was just thinking, can we come back down to it and spend some time around that area on Friday? So we used the unbalanced butterfly by initiating a bulk. The whole core part of the strategy is shorting the $420 put because you think that you're going to be above that price or maybe potentially right at it on Friday. Then as we get into the final moments of today's session, well, we're right there at 425.30 is where we end up closing. So what this allows you to do is to make money on the $430 put while letting all of this expire worthless, right? Because at the end of today's session, that option was worth $4.70. The trade was initiated for a $3 credit. So I didn't get out at the maximum, and of course this has drifted lower since the market's close, but it allows you an opportunity to take a credit in, a credit out, and is just an excellent strategy in these very volatile, high premium, high VIX type environments. Another place that it worked out really well was Nvidia, and you can see basically the same structure to this. The sell-off earlier in the week, you have to be willing to hold through a little bit of heat in that, but I'm thinking if Nvidia can be above 200, a relatively big round psychological number for the witching expiration, then this could be a very good trade. And it's kind of the same idea there, seeing it in the session right around 205, or in the week around 205. So just another place that we applied that strategy. Now, where can we look at applying it in the market that we get into next week? I think TLT is an interesting place to consider it. Now, the opinion of this directionally you probably could argue, but what I like looking at is the idea that it's going to move higher, but more so the fact that the implied volatility is higher in this product than what we've seen. It used to be much more quiet, and now we're trading in this very extreme range. You can actually see it right here. We've got a fresh squeeze signal, and I'm thinking that that's going to take us higher. But rather than thinking that it's just going to explode to new highs and take these out, because I think that's a relatively important high right there, so I'm thinking that we're going to do something kind of like this. That's a very indefinite pattern. So how does this strategy work in our favor? Well, I like the idea of doing something that involves a $150 short put. So we can come back over into our options chain. I'm going to look at doing this for the April 28, so 28 days as of now until that expiration. And all I'm going to look at doing is buying an unbalanced butterfly. So these are the same strategies that we've been utilizing in the room on Tesla, Nvidia, and I think that you can put this in TLT and look at it for the next 30 days. If you get filled around this price and TLT goes to zero, you're going to lose about $400. But it makes money in almost every other scenario and is a great way to play a high implied volatility environment with no upside risk. So anyway, that's a strategy that I really enjoy. I hope you're able to take a couple bits of whatever you find helpful in this type of environment, and we will see how that plays out in the free videos in the future. So y'all have a great weekend, and we'll see you at the next update.